Hello and welcome to today's session on Google Drawings, which I think is one of the most underused, underutilized, undervalued tools possibly out of the G Suite range. So really looking forward to getting started and seeing what we can do in today's session. Google's Drawing is a simple drawings package that will hopefully let you create simple diagrams or make simple sketches and be able to assign and share those through Google Classroom as well. So there's lots of uses. If you're watching this evening, do say hello in the chat. I appreciate it's nearly the last Tuesday before Christmas. I think for some people it is, and for some people there's one more Tuesday next week, but we're very nearly at the Christmas holidays, so people will certainly be feeling maybe a bit tired, but maybe your drawing skills aren't going to be something that you're going to make use of right away immediately, but they are certainly going to be something that you'll be able to hopefully apply in the new year, and you'll be able to come back to this webinar. So whether you're watching live now or watching again on demand through the same YouTube link, then thank you very much for being here. So I'm going to jump straight in and just show you how you can access Google Drawings, some of the tools that you can use in it. And I think there's some really good features, just like across all the G Suite packages, some really good features that people might not know about in terms of embedding links into your graphics and things. So I'm quite excited to show you that. So special hello to Karen, a Christmas tree. Thank you, Karen. I will do my very best to do that. And of course, welcome Alex, who said hi in the chat as well. That's delighted that you've managed to come along and watch as well. So I'll bring my screen in, and there we go, make that nice and big. So one of my top tips whenever we're using any of our Google products is to use Glow, which is our national learning platform in Scotland. And once you've gone through Glow, you'll know you're in Glow because in the top right hand corner and you've clicked on, say, into Google Drive or Google Classroom. I'd suggest Google Drive to get going here. You'll see you've got Google in the top right hand corner. That will actually be replaced with the Glow logo. So use the Glow logo just to get yourself in, and then you'll know you're using the right service. And then what you'll want to do is go to New and then head down to More and then across to Google Drawings. So you're in Glow because in the top right hand side it says Glow, not Google, and you know that you can create yourself some new documents by going to that New button, down to More and then into Google Drawings. The other option is to go to drawings.google.com and it will load you up a untitled drawing, a blank drawing for you to start with. And that's how we get into the service. So Drawings is a collaborative drawing package, just like all the G Suite options that we have. So there's the share button up here in the top right hand corner. Currently the drawing is private to me. I'm going to start off by naming this drawing as a demo. And then when you go in, we've got some options here. So you can add individual people. So I can share it with a learner, for example, and I can make them an editor, a commenter, or a viewer. And I'll show you how you can make comments on drawings as well, which is great. If you've got young people who've made a drawing, you can then go in and give them some feedback using the comment feature, or you can just let people view what you've created and use it, for example, on a Google site or embed it into a Google Doc or a Google slide. So lots of places that you can use it. And of course, you can link into Google Drawings from Microsoft Teams or via email or another service of your choosing. So I'll just cancel out that for now. Down the bottom here, you've also got the ability to change who can view and who can access it a little bit more globally. So if I click on this change link to anyone within my domain, so that will say your local authority. This is a demo domain for me, or a demo school for me. But if you're in a particular local authority, for example, South Lanarkshire, it would say South Lanarkshire Council here, or Falkirk Council, whatever area or domain you are accessing in. You can restrict it, again, just to be able to access to the people that you have up here, or you can make it available for anyone with a link. So for example, if you've got a school website and you've made it in Google Sites, or you've got a public school website made in another package, you can embed your Google Drawings, and you just need to make sure anyone with a link can view the file, and then those images, they can be stored cloud-based and they can be accessed through the web page to display nicely. So for today, I'll just leave this in my domain. So that's the sharing settings over and done with. Let's start off by looking at some of the drawing tools. Little request there from Karen, just to get me started, was a Christmas tree. So what I'm going to do is start off with a shape, and I'm going to start with a rectangle. Now, for my rectangle, I'm going to just draw like so. And you've got two options. So I pressed and held my mouse button when I dropped in this rectangle. I'll show you another way in just a second as well. Normally, they're quite brown, aren't they? Kind of a reddy brown. So I'm going to stick with that reddy brown to start with. That looks lovely. You'll notice when you drag the items around, you get these red lines appear. This helps you line things up. So I know that's going to be central to my page now, because the center two blue points are there and they line up with that red line for the center of the page. So that's really helpful. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw myself a triangle. And I'm just going to drag that out like so. No, I was going to show you a different way, wasn't I? I'm going to try that again. So I'm going to get myself a triangle, and if you just click in the space, it drops the triangle for you, having not picked up any previous settings, and then you can adjust its size. So you've got two options there. You can drop shapes in just by clicking them and then clicking to drop, or you can drag them to the right size. Right, I'm going to delete those two, and I deleted them just by selecting them and then hitting the delete key. Okay, this is going to be for my Christmas tree, so I'm going to want to make this triangle a little bit wider. That's good, and I'm going to go for a nice dark green colour there. Good. So I'm just going to drag that down there. So that's a good start. Now, obviously, Christmas trees, they kind of go up in size, don't they? So I can right-click on the item here, and I can copy it, just like so. And then I can right-click in the space and paste it. Oops, I've not got my extension labeled, so I can do that by pressing Control-C to copy and Control-V to paste. Now I can use my red lines here to help me line that up. That looks quite nice. Let's get another one here. That's good. And then I might decide just to make my next one just a little bit smaller. Just put that up like that. That is absolutely lovely. So there is a Christmas tree that I think isn't too bad. Let me know what you think in the comments. What I'm going to show you next is another tool that's on this shapes options here. And I'm going to look, I think, at putting, I'm just debating what I want to put on the Christmas tree. A star would look quite nice on the top of the Christmas tree. So I can see here I've got some kind of moons and lighting bolts. If I look at the arrows options, I've got some options there. Now, this is what I quite like. The call out section, that's very American, but, you know, kind of think of it as speech bubbles and things. It's got a nice star option. So let's just bring the star out like that and drag it into position. And I'm going to fill that star with a nice, nice yellow. That looks quite bright there, doesn't it? So that's a good start there. So just using the pre-defined shapes, I've got quite a lot of options. For people who are thinking of maybe using this with maths, you also get some nice maths equations, some maths shapes that you can use. And this might be in terms of a space, in terms of setting up simple places to do some sums or something. There's a real opportunity there. But for now, I'm going to go and look at this line option that's just before the shapes option, and I'm going to go down to the scribble option. So the scribble option is the freehand option in Google Drawings, and I'm just going to put a little bit of snow around here. Now you'll notice as I was putting my snow on there, it was a bit of a squiggly line. I'll draw it out here so you can kind of see what I did. That's not going to fit at all, is it? I'll leave that selected and just press the delete key to do it. Oh, it's a bit more like that, isn't it, the edge of the tree? But you see it smooths off my lines, so even though I'm a bit shaky with the mouse, Drawings automatically smooths it off for me. I can then use this select tool to drag it over and make a few changes like so. So that's lined up quite nicely. And I'm going to change here the line color, and I'm going to make the line color white. And then you'll see you can just about make it out there, but it's not super clear. And I really want it to look like snow on the edge of the tree. So I'm going to make the pointage a bit heavier. And you can see there, oh, I probably need a nice background color, don't I? Let's get a big rectangle. We can create a bit of a skyline there. Let's make a dark sky. Now you'll have noticed as I've dropped this in, it's actually extended over my tree and it's covered up what I had. If I right click, I can go down to order and I can send the item to the back or send it backwards. Or if I've got something at the back and I want to be able to move it forwards, then I can do that. And you can see here, you've got the shortcuts here as well in terms of control and then the arrow keys, or control shift and then the arrow keys. So I'm just going to send that to the back like so. And I'm going to make this a nice starry night, just like so. So hopefully that almost looks a little bit more snowy now, and I can copy that a couple of times just to do a few more of my branches. We can maybe get one more in there as well. Yeah, that's quite good. Now you see I've managed to do one side of my tree. Obviously I'd be looking to do the other side as well. So copying and pasting that again by using my Control C and Control V. So I do that and bring that over here. Now I obviously want to be able to change this. So I do get some options to be able to, underneath the order option, I do get the rotate option. So I can rotate it clockwise or anti-clockwise. In terms of rotation, I can also use the little option here just to rotate around any number of degrees that I wish. But rotation is no good. That's not going to fit still. What I want to be able to do is I want to be able to go to the rotate option and I want to flip it. So if I flip vertically, it ends up upside down. I've got an undo button up here, so I can undo that. And if I right click and this time do a flip horizontally, you'll see it just flips it for me. And I can then drag that into the position that I want it. And then I can do my copy and paste again. Once I've got it lined up, that's good. And bring that down like so. So now I've got quite a snowy looking tree on there. And if I don't quite like the angle that I've got that rotated to, I can just play with that a little bit because I know I changed that slightly. So there you go. A snowy looking tree sat on some snow down here with a nice blue background. So I think that's a really nice place to start. Karen, let me know what you think of the Christmas tree that I've drawn you in the chat there. So in terms of what I've shown you so far, we've had a look at that scribble tool and we've had a look at making use of these shapes here as well. What I can also do is use a polyline. Now a scribble, I can scribble around as I like. This could be a cloud. Do you see clouds at night? Now these two lines will never actually join. So even though it looks like I've completed the shape, I haven't actually completed the shape. Gosh, it looks like a face if I rotate it slightly. There you go. Look at that. It's a face there, isn't there? Now that is a scribble and that will never join. But if you do want to be able to create a shape that you can fill the color of, if I go back to this tool here, the line tool, and go to polyline, you can see here that I can click round. This is a constellation of the stars in the sky, in case you're wondering. And it gives me this option here just to be able to click to join where I started back up. And that gives me a complete shape. So your polyline has to be made up of straight lines, but you do have real flexibility about the shape that you can create. Thanks very much, Karen, for your vote of confidence there with how good the Christmas tree's looking. Pleased to see you're still watching as well. That warms me from the inside. So the polyline, I really like that. And then you get the option to be able to fill it. So I could go transparent and I could make the line yellow. That's where I've joined all my stars together. So I'm very, very pleased with that. So I think as a Christmas tree and a constellation of stars in the background that I've joined together with the yellow line, I think that's a job done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, New, and I'm going to go to Drawings, and I'm going to create myself a new drawing. And this time I'm going to show you an organizational flow chart. So I think this could be quite useful if you want to be able to share some kind of information about your school or something. So we have this text box ability here, and I can draw the text box out. And you see here I can have a fill color for the text box, and I can change my line color to go around the outside of it, my line thickness and my line style. So we could do something like that, make that a little bit thicker. There you go. Not delighted with the spacings of those, but that will do for now. Not sure I like the color either, actually, red. Anyway, I'm going to leave that as it is, black and red for now. In the text box, if I double click in, that gives me my ability to do the writing bits again. I can align my text using the align tool here. So I'm going to put that bang in the center by centering it and then aligning it horizontally in the middle. And I'm going to change my text color here to white, and I'll make it a little bit bigger so it's easy to see. Okay, so I've got the head teacher at the top. I'm going to be able to use my copy and paste feature here. So that's good. Stick in here a couple of EHTs, using the red lines just to help me line things up. And we can have one more of these, pop that over there. Lovely. So I've dropped in there a few boxes to start forming an organizational flow chart. Now I'm going to go back to this line tool, and I'm going to do either an arrow, or I could do an elbow connector if I wanted. I'll go with arrow for now. And you'll see here, as I bring that arrow tool across, it gives me little purple dots, and the purple dots allow me to start the arrow at the purple dot. If I bring it across here, I can do dot to dot. So that means the items will pin really nicely. And then I get a few options here. So I can make that a red line. I can make that line a bit thicker if I want to be able to see it, change the style of it. I can also change what the start of the line looks like. So at the moment, it's just a dot, there's nothing there. And I can also change what the end of the line looks like. So I could have an arrow with a kind of a filled, a not filled center, or I could do a diamond shape. So there's lots of flexibility there in being able to change what that looks like. So I can do dot to dot, just like so, and then line those up just as I want to. There you go. So lots of opportunities there in terms of the creation of the flow chart. The arrows is a really good tool to use, as is the elbow connectors or the curve connectors, depending on the style that you're looking for. And the text box allows you to put information in. Now, I've created that graphic, but what I would like that graphic to be is for it to be a graphic that is interactive in terms of somebody who's using it can click on the graphic. Whoops, just dropped a line in by mistake. Make sure I've got the selector tool selected. So I'm going to click in here, and I can right click once I've selected the box, and I can go down to this link option here. Yeah, that's good. So we go to the link option there, that's fine. Right click for the link. So with the link option, I can link to a website. So I could type in www.bbc.co.uk, and then that would link there. So if, for instance, you had a profile about the head teacher or whatever you've got in your flowchart, you could link to that page, and that would work, say, for a Google site as well if you wanted to do that. But what I think is particularly cool is if you use mail to, and then a colon, stick in the email address. So I'll just use mine, ianvotter@glow.sch.uk, and press apply. You've now got the option to send an email to me, and when you click on that, it will open in the default provider for your emails. So for example, if you're using Office 365 and Outlook, it will open into that service automatically. So that goes on based upon the user's settings on the computer that's being used, not any settings that you've got set up there. So in terms of being able to add hyperlinks and being able to add links to create emails for people, then that's absolutely possible. Karen's come in with a really good question there in terms of, is there a quick way to be able to group items together? There is. So a couple of ways to be able to group items together. I can highlight all the items and I can right click and do group, or I can highlight all the items and I can press Control, Alt and G. And you can see there it's removed all the little dots. around each of the individual items, and it now treats those items as one group of items. So when I resize it, it automatically gets smaller and bigger, or will rotate just like so. So I'm going to ungroup those items for now. So Control-Alt-Shift-G to be able to ungroup, or right-click and then ungroup. That's done there. So I'm just going to name this as demo as well. And even though both these Google drawings are saved in my Google Drive, I can give them the same name because every file, every drawing that's created has its own unique URL. So things can share the same name in Google Drive, which is a really beneficial feature. So if I go to File and to this download option, I get 4 download options. I get PDF, JPEG, PNG, and scalable vector graphics. So if I download it as a JPEG or a PNG, this link that I have put into the file will stop working and it will go back to being just a flat, non-interactive image. But if I download it as a scalable vector graphic and I open this up, you'll see here that it opens in my browser, and I have the ability to be able to, when I hover over it, you can see here the mouse cursor changes because I've got that ability to be able to send an email. In my other window, my email service is opened for me. So with the other download option, which is PDF, that also manages to maintain or retain the hyperlinked options in there. So you can use that as well, which is really, really useful. Okay, going back then, just having a look through at some of the additional menu options that we have. We have the ability to import other images. So for example, if you've got a document or a photo or a PDF in Google Drive, or it's available on the internet, so you can use the search the web, or you've got it on your computer, you can upload that, drop the item in, and then you have the ability to be able to go in and label it or annotate any of the images that you upload. So that's really positive. Now I said about going in and commenting on documents, where you can go in and comment as well. So you can just press the comment button when you're in it, and it will add a comment for the entire image, or you can select a particular part of the graphic, and then you can click on that and add comments. So you can provide feedback or information just on a particular point of the drawing that's been created. So you've got options there as well. So that's the settings. So we've looked at how we can add links, and we've looked at how we can comment on the document as well. Let's have a quick look through some of the other menus then. If you've got any amount of text in there, you want to be able to use the spelling options, then that's absolutely possible. If you've created something and you're not sure that you think it's looking quite as you would like it to, you can use this explored option. And if it has the ability to be able to find some facts or some additional images for you based upon the information that you've got in there, then the explore feature, just like it would in docs and slides, will be able to help you out with that. Got some options as well to be able to set preferences in terms of whether you want, for example, when you're typing things to automatically capitalize, and whether it wants you to detect links and lists. And you know, as you use the package more, you'll know what settings you like to have switched on and off. So if you're kind of trying to work out where to do that, then you find that in your preferences. There's also some accessibility options as well. So if you're using this with a screen reader, or you want to use a screen magnifier, for example, you'll find that all within the accessibility features that are available there. If we go down here to the activity dashboard, I can see if people have viewed my drawing when I've shared it out. So I'll get a list of people who have viewed it. I'm the only person who's viewed it at the moment. I can see viewer trends. So for example, if I've got this publicly shared on my website, I can see how often the graphic is being viewed at a particular time of day when people are more likely to tune in. And you can also see kind of comment history and where it's being shared as well. Okay, so that's the tools option there. The arrange option, we've already had a look at those by right-clicking in terms of ordering, aligning, rotating things on the page. We've had a look at a lot of the formatting options as we've gone along. We've had a look at the key things we can insert: images, text box, shapes. You may wish to insert a table, and that works just the same way as you would in Google Docs or Slides. Or you can use the diagram feature here, and that will lay out automatically what I created for you there. I can also see here my revision history. So that's really useful if you've kind of made some changes or someone else has come in and made changes and you want to go back to a particular point in time. What I'm going to do is go to a new drawing for now and just use that insert menu and show you what that diagram options comes up with. So you can see here they look a little nicer than the one that I created. Whoops, I can drop that by mistake. So you can go in and get those different organizational charts. So I'm just dropping a few in there, but you've got settings there in terms of what you can change in terms of the hierarchy, or some different table looks and things as well. So they're well worth going in and having a look at. If you're trying to create some infographics and you're looking for a template to build something from that you've already started, this could be a really good starting point for you. If I also go to File and go to New and go to From Template, if your organization has got some templates set up, then you can use those templates already, but there is also some general templates available for you to be able to use as well. So the templates gallery may be worth exploring if you're not quite sure what you wish to create. I talked a little bit about publishing items to the web and adding them to a website. Well, to be able to do that, we use the File menu. We go to Publish to the Web. It gives you some options here. So I'm going to make it a nice large graphic, and I'm going to press Publish. Press OK. It then gives me the URL that I can use to embed it, or if I need some embed code, I can go to the embed code option and select from the drop down what side of the graphic I'm looking for, and then I can copy and paste that. So that might need to get dropped into a school website or into a Google site, for example, if you wanted to do it that way. And then it tells you here, if I go into those settings, it tells you here the document is published to the web. I've got the option to be able to stop publishing or restrict that access as well. So I could just make it available just within my school or local authority, depending on what I was trying to do. Okay, just going down and looking at the last options here. We do have the ability to be able to print the graphic and also look at the page setup. So we'll look at page setup first. So page setup, you get kind of standard widescreen and widescreen choices, or you can get custom choices. Now, custom choices is something that I've made a lot of use of. And when I use my custom choice, I don't go by centimeters. I quite often go by pixels. And then I've looked up what the pixels are if I'm putting something, for example, for a YouTube graphic, or if I'm looking to create a social media post on Instagram. They've obviously got square pictures, so you can find those pixel values publicly available, go in there and make the changes. So I can do that just like so. And then that just gives you a graphic that's scaled to the right dimensions when you download it for use. With printing, just a case of making sure that you check out your print settings first, just to make sure it comes out as you would expect it to come out of the printer. And I think that in terms of in Google Drawings is everything that I wanted to show you in this kind of first whistle-stop tour. You do have the ability to make a copy, and you can copy that to your drive. You can use the old trick of changing the word edit up here to copy, and then you can send that URL to people and they will be able to make a copy of the drawing. Or the final thing that I'm going to show you, do drop any questions that you have for Google Drawings in the chat while I demonstrate this last thing, is to make use of Google Classroom to deliver the Google Drawings. So if I go to the classwork page and I create myself a new assignment, I'm going to put here demo drawing. I'm going to add the demo drawing from my Google Drive. You'll see here it will come up as one of my recent items. I'll give out the Christmas tree, press insert. Now I've got the choice. I can have the option for people to view the file, I have an option for people to be able to edit the file. And if I go for students can edit the file, that means everyone will be able to go into that Google drawing and be able to make changes, or I have the ability to make a copy for each student. I'm going to make a copy for each student, and I'm going to assign that. That will give them in their Google Drive folder and also in their classroom access to their own copy of that drawing, which they can go and check out. Remember, all the classroom items go into classroom, the name of the classroom, and then don't know which classroom I was working in, demo drawing, there it is. And then the learners who are in the class, you can see their work there. Obviously, they're demonstration learners and they haven't made any changes to it, which is why they both look absolutely identical. Okay, so that is Google Drawings in a nutshell. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. I know it's getting late on a Tuesday evening. People want to get home. And if you've caught up and watched this on demand, thank you very much. Do, if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Over 200 subscribers, so very grateful for that. Also, lovely if you've liked the video, if you've learned something today, be it insert a link into Google Drawings or how you can scale your graphics and group them together, for example. Thank you very much for watching. More tips and tricks also on Twitter at Mr. Vosser. Check me out there. I don't think there's any more questions. So just a final shout out then to Evan, Kyle, and QT. Thanks very much for watching. Got a proper question here. This is good. Microsoft Word users may need some tips for using Google Docs and integrations with drawings. So I would say, in terms of when you've got a Google Doc open, I'll open one up and show you that on my screen now. In terms of, so an interesting thing, when you upload a Microsoft Word document to Google Drive and it's got text boxes in it, those text boxes get inserted as Google Drawings that you can then go in and edit. If I go to Insert Image and go to Drive, you can see here that I have not got my Google Drawing options because I need to go Insert Drawing from Drive. And then I've got there the Christmas tree. And I can either link it to the source or I can insert unlinked as a copy. So I'll insert that one unlinked. And then I can handle that just as I would a normal image in a document. If I wanted to go and edit it, if I double click on it, I am not getting into drawings. That's because I didn't link it, did I, when I dropped it in? I dropped in the copy. If I link in the one from the source, I think when you double click on it, you can see here it's linked, and then you can open the source item. That's exactly what I was thinking about there. So it just depends whether you want a copy of the image or you want the image to be able to continually update. So if I take out this awful constellation that I put in there, you'll see that's now saved automatically, and it's now giving me this choice to update here, and there is the image updated. So I think in terms of using Google Docs, very similar to how Microsoft Word once felt with quite a traditional looking menu bar, but that's because the focus is around loading quickly and integrating nicely for collaboration. You've got really good options there to be able to drop the images in. Just make sure when you go up to that insert menu, you go down to drawing and don't look in image unless you've downloaded the image already as a PNG or a JPEG. And if you've got hyperlinks in there, those hyperlinks will also work in Docs as well, which is really nice for adding that interactivity into your documents. Alex, thank you very much for watching. You're very welcome. Hope to see everyone soon. We've got another webinar on Thursday kicking off at 4 o'clock, looking at how we give and get feedback in Google Classroom. So do join me for that. Thank you very much for the questions and participation, Karen. That was very much appreciated. I will see you all soon. Goodbye and thank you.